The Government of Now platform is most easily understood in quadrants as shown here. Let's start by visiting some of the outcomes that the ServiceNow platform has enabled for municipalities across the world. To summarize, the effects are a more streamlined and more secure delivery of critical digital services. Next, let's take a look at how these results were accomplished. Our first quadrant focuses on modernizing digital services for government. Our second quadrant focuses on securing those services. Our third quadrant on the workforce and the streamlining of processes that they need in order to be successful. Our fourth and final quadrant focuses on citizen-centered services delivered through multiple digital channels. Now that we're all familiar with the Government of Now platform, we'll spend the rest of the time on showing you how it works. Our first case today, we're going to zoom in a little bit on citizen-centered services. There's a light out on Magnolia and Broadway. One of our citizens named Gilly Parker recognizes that and reports the light. That case is then created and sent to an agent named John Jason. John engages the Public Works Department to create an order. And finally, a work order task like the one you see on the screen is issued. We'll start with an interface that everybody's used to, Google Search. Here you can see that Gilly typed in report a broken traffic signal on her mobile browser. Because she's in the location of Silicon Valley, it found the best search result for that location. In this case, she can call in and report the broken traffic light, or she can click on the Report a Traffic Signal Problem Now link, which takes her into the ServiceNow application. The ServiceNow application, because she's in context, it's going to bring her right into that page where it's asking first where the issue is. It already knows it's a traffic light issue from the link. Once I say use this location, it's going to bring us in and it's going to look for other similar cases that are in that area. If there's other people that already reported the light, Gilly would simply be able to +1 that issue here and also be noted on it. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to create a new ticket. And here we can just say green light is out. And if we wanted to, on our mobile device, we can either add a photo from our library, or we would be able to snap a picture. In this case, I'll just bring a picture of that broken traffic light on Magnolia in. And that's it. I submit the ticket, and from here, I'll be able to go ahead and track that ticket. Because I logged in as Gilly, I would have been able to continue anonymously as well, but because I've logged in, I can now at any point go back to my home page, either on my mobile device in my mobile browser like I am here, or on my home web browser, and I could look at all my cases. And then Gilly would get regular updates on how that traffic signal issue on Magnolia is progressing. Changing hats, we're going to move over to John Jason. John Jason, as we talked about earlier, is our agent. And you can see there's 340 unassigned cases. This is a dashboard where they can see all their cases. We're going to assume John just got an email that there is a new case in the queue. And you can see that the Gilly Parker's case is right at the top of the queue. And what John's able to do is go ahead and open that case. And he quickly notices that did come in as a traffic light problem. So what he has to do is create a work order. And there's a shortcut for that right on top of the case. You could create the work order from here, and that work order is all ready for dispatch. It brings you right into that new record. And now this is John's record for interacting with that public service department. So what John can do is say this is ready for dispatch. And when this is ready for dispatch, because this is a simple case, we're just going to create one work order. And with that work order, what we're going to do is we're going to assign a template to it. Now what a template does is it says we need certain things to get this job done. So I'm going to pick a traffic template out that I created. And this is a pretty common one that would be used for municipalities. So I'm going to search for all the traffic templates. And we're going to use this traffic signal inoperative task. And what this does is a few things. First, it assigns the skills that are needed to complete the job. And then the second thing that it does is it would add any part requirements to get that job done. Now what you can do now that you have a template assigned, I know the type of work it is, it's a repair of an inoperative light. I can go ahead and auto assign this. And what it's going to do, it's going to pick the technician that's available that has those skills and also has access to the parts. So you can see that this was automatically assigned to our technician, Teddy Taylor. Now that we've created a work order, we need to assign that work. Teddy Taylor was automatically assigned the work in our last exercise. So now Teddy's going to accept that work on his mobile device. He's then going to start the travel. You'll see where Teddy's able to put in information about the work that he's performing. And then finally, we're going to go ahead and close the task, which communicates back to Gilly that the street light is now repaired. To finish out our application, we're going to have Teddy close out the work order task that was assigned to him using the Now Agent application on his mobile device. When you open up the Now Agent application, it's going to give you a list of all the applications that you have access to. Right now, field service is the only one that Teddy has access to today. So we can open that field service application. And typically this is the screen that agents will be working on. They'll have a single screen that'll have all the information they need. In this case, we can go to the task map and you can see all the different work order tasks, Ethernet cabling on the bottom, Wi-Fi signal check, router maintenance. And then finally, the traffic signal inoperative task that was sent in by Gilly. What I could do from here is I would be able to open up that task. On the lower right-hand corner, you'll see where I could actually get directions to this task if I wanted to. So if I clicked on that task and I used my Google Maps application, it would actually be able to give me directions right to that task. Okay, but today we're not going to go with the directions. What we're going to do instead is I'm going to go ahead and open that task, and I am going to first accept it. Now that I accepted that task, it takes it out of the queue for others so that I may work on the task. And as you'll notice in the mobile application, it's all very easy. A lot of times technicians in the field are used to carrying pieces of paper around to do this. So they're delighted when they get this type of modern service that they can use to close these tickets. And once it's accepted, all they have to do is indicate when they start work or start travel. And right now they would switch that to a work in progress. So this enables John Jason that created the ticket to see that they're actually working on the ticket right now. At some point, we would be able to go ahead and we would be able to look for parts on here. Let me just show you that real quick. So if I go into related lists, and I could see there's a part requirement, and these are different replacement lights for doing the actual street light repair. So in this case, we need a green traffic light. We'd be able to pull that from stock. And going back to the actual task at hand, what we can do when we're all done with our work, we can go ahead and close complete the work. So it asks for a little note in the end that you could put. And along the way too, you could have been talking back and forth with the agent from the mobile phone. Okay, and that closes the ticket, sends a notification back to the agent, who in turn sends a notification back to Gilly. Very quick and easy workflow that went across 3 departments. Thank you for taking the time out to listen to our overview of the Government of Now platform. More information about this topic can be found on servicenow.com/go.